What's up, YouTube? This is going to be our guide on how to use Incineroar in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing competitive movesets and some fun meme movesets too. If there's a Pokemon you'd like to see me cover, put a below in the comment section. If you enjoy these, they get you thinking, drop a like on the video and let's get into it. So, Incineroar, of course, is now back to use after the DLC 2, and it's going to be seeing a fair bit of usage, of course, in especially doubles VGC. So, let's have a look at its stats and what it can do any differently. So we've got a nice attack stat, a nice health stat, some very good base there. It's got a fair bit of bulk, and especially with the ability Intimidate. So you're mainly going to always be using Intimidate. Now, first set here, which is probably a little bit more focused on singles for this one, is an Assault Vest set. So we've got its main stat here, of course, as Flare Blitz. We've got Drain Punch for Sustain. And we've got Darkest Lariat, which is very, very nice, darker move. And it can obviously bypass any stat changes, which is going to be very, very important if you get set up on anything like that. And we've also got Terra Blast Water. I think Terra Blast Water is actually quite a good defensive type on this Pokemon because it covers a lot of its main weaknesses. Now, the EV spread for this one is it's pretty straightforward. We've got a max health and max attack set with Adam and Nature, so we're going for more of a bulky attacker rather than like a support style set, which I'll get to very, very soon. So, Assault Vest is going to give it a nice amount of bulk there on the special side with a 1.5 times boost, and we don't have anything defense, but we've got Intimidate ability, which is very, very good for sure. So it's going to cause a lot of swaps and allow Incineroar to get some powerful moves off. So you got Flare Blitz to deal damage and Drain Punch to get health back, which is going to be pretty good. So a little bit different than like a normal support set. You can give it like a try. Some other stab you could give it. You could give it a fighting as well. Terra Fighting Drain Punch. That'll actually get rid of a couple of weaknesses too, and mainly it's going to give you some, obviously Drain Punch is going to be hitting like super hard then, and getting you lots of sustain. So you could change that around, and then with Terra Blast, I'd probably drop that. And I would give it U-Turn if you're going to do it that way with Terra Fighting. So with U-Turn, that's going to give you momentum. And also, you're going to be able to utilize Intimidate ability a lot on any physical attackers on the opponent's team. And with all this bulk, max health here, it's going to be leaving a lot of hits. And it's going to be sticking around for a fair while. It will get worn down, but if it does its job, dishing out a lot of damage and intimidating physical attackers, that's going to be pretty good. Let's have a look at a bulky support set here. So this is a little bit more involved. So this one is for singles. So I've got some doubles ones coming up. So another good item that Incineroar can run is Citrus Berry, which is going to be very good alongside Flare Blitz. Now this build, we've got max health and we've got 180 in defense. We've got 76 in special defense. So this gives it pretty good all-round actual defensive bulk with Intimidate. And it gives us some special too. I've got Impish Nature, so we're dropping that special attack and increasing defense. So it's going to be very, very bulky, which is going to be suiting to Incineroar. Very, very good at tanking physical attacks. You've also got Parting Shot on there, which is going to be a great move coupled with Intimidate. So you're going to drop the attack with Intimidate, then you're going to drop the attack and special attack and swap out, which is great. So you're really going to force a lot of swaps for sure, and you may even be able to get your other Pokemon that swaps in a chance to set up. So we got that. We also have Knockoff here. Knockoff is a nice move. I find it's better on like the support style sets compared to like Darkest Lariat. I feel that one's better for damage, where this is better for support. And it's always good at getting rid of the opponent's items. Another move I've got on here is Will-O-Wisp. So you can even spread burns as well to any other physical attacker too. So you pretty much got any physical attackers in a pretty tight spot once you got that Intimidate and Will-O-Wisp going. Now, Citrus Berry is just good for like getting some extra health recovery at max, from max health or to half, which is going to definitely happen when you take a hit and then you say go for a Flare Blitz, right? Or you take repeated hits with just swapping in and out with Parting Shot. So that's another way you can run like more of a bulky support style set. I still feel like Water's probably the best for this kind of build here. Another one you might be able to go for could possibly be Grass. That's another one too. You could even have Terra Blast on there if you wanted to, but Grass and Water seem pretty good, actually. You could even go... Another one, you could even go Ghost. For that dark type, you might be able to get around some fighting moves, so that could be useful as well. So I don't mind like Water, Grass, and Ghost as more defensive types, which, Incineroar is such a great utility Pokemon. It can do so many things, and it's got the ability to back it up. So that's how I would go about running a more of a bulky support set, more for singles this one. So let's have a look at another single set and we'll get to some doubles there. We've got Bulk Up. So this is my bulky special defensive set. So it's a bulky boosting. So we've got max health EVs and max special defense with Careful Nature. So that's going to make it very, very special defensive. And I've got Intimidate, of course, as ability. Now, the item I've got here is Moringa Berry. So that's going to increase its special defense by 1 stage after getting hit by a special attack. So the idea, how you want to play this set, is you want to play it that you can set it up with bulk ups and you don't want to swap again, because that's going to give you your special defense rise, and then you can just keep going bulk up, right? With Intimidate, if you do it correctly, if you swap it into like, say, a physical attacker, that'll allow you to get like 1 free bulk up at least on a swap, and then maybe the opponent will bring in a special attacker and then activate your Moringa Berry, and then you can go for the Drain Punch to heal yourself off. Or you can go for Darkness Lariat for damage. So just another way of having an Incineroar set. And with Intimidate and Bulk Up, it's going to get like, very, very defensive, and it's going to be very, very hard to feint too. And you've got Drain Punch there to get damage on the opponent and sustains. We've got that 50% damage gel, and we've got Terra type fighting on this one. The last move I put on there was a little bit of a filler move. We had Flame Charge. I know I didn't really have a fire move, but I thought after you've got all this bulk, why not try and increase your speed too? And, with enough bulk ups, Flame Charge itself is still going to be hitting very, very hard. Another way you could run this set too, if you don't like the fact that you're relying on Drain Punch fully for recovery, you could go Rest. And obviously this is definitely for singles with Rest. And you drop Moringa Berry, and you could give it Chesto Berry. So that way you get a couple of bulk ups happening, rest off, and then you could go, for your Drain Punch and Darkness Lariat combination. So just another way of running Incineroar, like a bulky set, a very, very special defensive. Let's get along and have a look at some of the double sets here. Now, these ones are a little bit similar to what I showed before, except we got a little bit of a different... I've got a couple of different EV spreads here for Incineroar. And now, I like to run Incineroar as more of a bulky support set. In doubles, VGC, it works best. It's got the moves and ability to do it. So let's check it out. So the most important move here, it's got Fake Out, which is an excellent move on Incineroar. We've also got Parting Shot too, which is great. So you can Fake Out, get that Intimidate boost, and then you could even Parting Shot again and drop the opponent's stats, which is going to be very, very good. We've got Flare Blitz for damage. Even with hardly any EVs in attack, you still got a lot of damage. So, for example, say I'm trying to think of maybe like an Among Us or something like that. With the EVs here, that's gonna that's gonna one-shot pretty much every Among Us unless it's like super defensive. So that's gonna be pretty good. And you got Citrus Berry there to heal off at half health. And then you've got Knockoff. Since we're running more of a support style set here, I would suggest Knockoff so you get rid of any items just handy on the opponent's team. So that's going to be very, very good. Another move you could give it, if you don't run Parting Shot, I guess you could try and give it U-turn, but I like Fake Out and Parting Shot. I think they're pretty good. Let's have a look at this EV spread. So this one is a little bit everywhere. So I also like to go max health on Incineroar, like pretty much every competitive set I would go max health on it. So we've got 252 EVs in health. We've got 68 in attack. So I'm just giving it a little bit in attack, not too much. I don't want to go like overworld because I want to try and make it bulky. Now, I really want to sort of focus on the special defense here with Careful Nature. So I've gone 160 in special defense with Careful, and I've dumped the last bit into defense. If you don't really care about any attack EVs or anything like that, you could just dump them straight into like defense there. So it's with Intimidate and 96 defense EVs, it's going to be still very bulky, and you're going to be able to take a good special hit as well. So that's another way of running Incineroar, and probably a fairly common way to fake out, parting shot, flare blitz, knockoff, or darkest lariat. It's pretty much standard for most Incineroar bulky sets. So really, you need to be running fake out, and at least I feel like it's hard to pick any other moves over these ones. I think they're pretty damn good. So for Terra types, you've got Terra Grass. That's going to be pretty good for covering weaknesses. You've got Terra Water. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like definitely for a defensive set or defensive support style set, I would run defensive Terras instead of running Terra Fire or Terra Dark, because there's no point, right? So that's how I would go, and I'd play this Incineroar as the lead, and then you can you get that fake out damage and flinch, and you get the even if you don't get the fake out, you're still going to get an Intimidate off, right? And that's going to be handy. And then after that, you can go for parting shot too, and you can keep bringing it back in. So it's going to be very, very handy for sure. And it still packs a decent amount of attack with 115 base too. And as I said, Flare Blitz has got 120 base power. You're doing a lot, and knockoff too. So that's going to be very, very good for sure. Obviously, you can have a little bit different EVs if you like there. I've sort of just made it all round bulky. Depending if you need to outspeed things too, that's another one. So I've got another build here that's actually this is kind of similar to it as well, but it's more of a well-rounded set, and we're also making it special defensive. So Assault Vest is a great item to run on Incineroar too. The only drawback to running Assault Vest is you can't have parting shots. So, just sort of remember that. But you still have U-turn, which still is a good move. You're still dealing damage, and you've got fake out. So you got fake out, U-turn, and Flare Blitz knockoff. So same sort of thing here. Intimidate, Assault Vest. We're going to get that 1.5 times boost on the special defense. And EV spread max health again for sure. We've got 180 in defense, and I've got 76 in special strength with careful nature. So it's very, very well rounded on the defensive and the special defensive side. Just giving it overall good bulk to go for fake out and U-turn and support the rest of the team. And with Assault Vest, it's very, very special defensive. We're going to be great. So when you take into Intimidate and the Assault Vest, it's super, super tanky. It's going to take a fair bit of wearing down while your other Pokemon on your team are going to be dealing damage, and, while this supports it. So I actually really like this build here. I think this is quite a good one. Just all-round bulk, max health, and I got Terra Ghost in this. So that was another one I thought could be cool, getting around any of those fighting type moves. And also, stuff like Fake Out and things like that, anti-Fake Out and stuff, but and cool stuff like that. But you could definitely go, water, like what I said, Water and Grass, and I think they're pretty good too. I would go for those. You could, yeah, I don't know. I like Water and Grass. I think they're the best defensive types. And maybe Ghost. Ghost could be a cool surprise there. For Incineroar. So if you got any other Terras, let me know what you're running on your, if you got a support style set. I think those are the best ones. I'm just trying to think of anything else that would be okay, Stellar. There's no point running Stellar at all, especially on these sort of sets. It's absolutely pointless. It's not going to do anything. Yeah, I think they're the best. I would say those ones are the best there for sure. Water, Grass, or Ghost, Water, Grass. Any of those types of ones. So, do we have a look at the bulk? I believe we had a look at the bulk upset. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna do some. Let's do some team and stuff like that. Let's do some counters and some teammates. So if I was running this, even in singles and both singles and doubles, Urshifu Rapid Strike, which is a great partner for so many different Pokemon, is going to be really, really good, because that's going to be able to get rid of a ton of the counters with Surging Strike, obviously Surging Strike. So that's going to be really, really good. I'm trying to think of some other ones too to run alongside it. I would say that's probably the best one to actually run alongside it, because that basically what this does is this gets around Incineroar gets around. That's my Spin Dive special. Incineroar gets around any of the grass types, and you've got Urshifu getting around any opposing fire types, any ground types, any rock types and stuff as well. So They do look, pretty good together as like a core. Another one you could do for doubles, because I was going to recommend Urshifu for doubles too, because it's really quite good. If you want to put it on like a rain team, you could have Tornadus or Pelipper as well. So that would be pretty good, providing Tailwind, and that wouldn't be too bad as well. I'm just thinking of like a core for those Pokemon. You could easily slot that into that team. It might be interesting running Incineroar on a rain team, but I don't know. Like I think it'll be okay. Even just like I'd say just a Tailwind support team, because that would make it a little bit faster and it'd have all that bulk as well. So I think that'll be pretty good. And how about, I'm trying to think of some other grass Pokemon. How about Rillaboom? Thinking of other stars. Like Rillaboom wouldn't be too bad either, like as a partner. So you could couple Rillaboom up with Incineroar too, so they'll sort of like cover each other's weaknesses, and you've got Grassy Surge too, which would be very beneficial. So that would be a couple of teammates I would suggest. How about, I'm trying to think of a couple of others here. Dondozo wouldn't be bad too, for sure. That would get around a lot of its, that would be very good for alongside a lot of its weaknesses. So Dondozo would be another one. If you've got any other teammates or strategies you'd like to recommend, please do in the comments. It's a great for, just sharing information and what other people have actually, got on their teams and stuff like that. I'm thinking of some other counters now. How about, all right, if you're I was thinking Heat Rain wouldn't be too bad. If you're lacking like a fighting move, because it's Flash Fire, that's gonna make basically Flare Blitz. It's gonna be nullified. So I would say Heat Rain would be a great counter. And of course, Urshifu, I was gonna say it's a good teammate. It's also a very good counter too, because you've got surging strike, so that's gonna always crit. So it's gonna ignore all those intimidate drops. So that's gonna be a great counter too. Any fighting types, any fighting type Pokemon, I'm thinking like, Iron Hands would be a good one too. I'm just thinking off the top here, some fighting type Pokemon. Yeah, anything like that, that's going to be able to tank a hit pretty easily, and it's going to be able to close combat or Drain Punch sustain you away. So there's a couple of counters for you. I would say any of those would work, would definitely work well for sure. Now, let's think of some. Oh, I will show you my Pipnight special set, and then we'll have a look at some other sets and other thoughts and stuff like that. Because, like I said, it's a very, very versatile Pokemon. So this is a Pipnight special. Of course, we like to run a few memes around here. Now, this actually gets Nasty Plot, which is pretty interesting. So, I've got a Blaze Nasty Plot set. I want to do it one set at least with Blaze. So, we've got Nasty Plot to increase that special attack by 2 stages. We've got Dank Pulse, going to go for them flinches. Terra Dark, boosting them up a little bit. We got Fire Miss and Focus Miss. So, we got some powerful fire damage and some powerful fighting. Fighting's mainly so it doesn't get walled. And I've got Item as Salac Berry. So, as you can see, Incineroar's base speed is trash. So we're going to try and make it fast with a Salac Berry boost. And I thought, well, we got Salac Berry activating on a quarter of health. Well, that's going to work well with Blaze, isn't it? I mean, to be fair, Intimidate could work well as well, and letting you set up a Nasty Plot. But we're going to go for some memes here. And Blaze will also power up Fire Blast too. So max special attack and max speed, Timber Nature. I just dropped the last 4 in defense. So there you go, a Pipnight special. It's going to need some support, that's for sure. So yeah, get it down. Once it gets down to its Salac Berry activation, it will actually be able to outspeed a couple of things there for sure. So let's check out some more sets that you could possibly do with Incineroar. Let's have a look at its status swings. Once again, if there's anything you'd like to add, let me know. Like if you've got any sets that are working well, maybe I didn't mention them. I feel like I mentioned mainly. Oh, okay. Another set that you could run is a Sword Dance set. So it does have the capacity to increase its attack. It's got a good attack stat. The thing that lets it down a lot is its speed. So maybe even for any of these two, let's say, for example, this AV bulky one that I was talking about, you could always change these to Trick Room, So you could make that, for example, you could make that one Brave, and that'd be perfect, So you'd be going first. So you could couple that with some Trick Room Pokemon. I reckon that would be, that wouldn't be too bad. for sure. Maybe like Hatterene wouldn't be too bad. So it could be Hatterene. You'd have to watch out with Slowking Gala being a poison type because of that ground weakness. But yeah, I would recommend like, yeah, Hatterene. That could be a good Trick Room. You know, if you want a Trick Room sort of Pokemon on your team, you could go for that. And then, you know, it's not very fast, so that could be very, very beneficial. So, yeah, and you could even run, like, these ones here as well. You could always run these in Trick Room as well. So you just have to adjust their nature around to, like, a, you know, like a hindering speed nature. So they'd all work with that. Some other thoughts here, why we're talking about this. Now, it does get... We've got Flare Blitz and Knockoff. I don't know. I know this is a difficult move to fit on there, but it does also have Helping Hand, which could be quite useful on the bulky set. So the thing is, it's got like really 5 solid moves. It's got like Fake Out, Parting Shot, Flare Blitz, and Knockoff. It's like, which one do I get rid of? You know. Well, if you've got Pokemon on your team that have that can handle or have Dark type moves or can handle what you're trying to hit with Incineroar, then you might be able to get away with putting Helping Hand in there. Or you drop Parting Shot. And I know that's quite a big one to drop there because it's a very good move on Incineroar, but you could drop that and make it like a Helping Hand support for any, you know, any real powerful Pokemon that you've got as an ally. So that's another great move. It's got really, really good support moves, Incineroar. So that's another way of doing it for sure. And you could, like, you had like a Sword Dance. I was mentioning the Sword Dance set. You could build that Sword Dance set too under Trick Room. That could be an idea. Or you could, I guess you could try and, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a really offensive, like this is probably like the offensive, like really offensive set that I would use. It'd be doing a lot of damage. So I'd probably, if I was going to run Sword Dance, I might try and run it on something like this. Obviously, I'd take off a Solvus, but still, the problem is its speed. I feel like even in singles, it'd be difficult to get Sword Dance up, and you know, doubles would be very, very difficult. So I think its role really isn't too well suited for that. It's a bit too slow, yeah. Okay, guys, Baton Pass. So we got to look at most of these things here. Yeah, there's no real other support moves that it gets. It's a bit too slow to be taunting. Let's have a look at its physical. It gets a lot of physical move, which is good. So it gets a nice... We got Acrobatics here. You could go Terra Flying Acrobatics. I guess that's another option. So, you could have... I mean, I like U-Turn and Intimidator. That's kind of good. But if you don't want that, you could have Terra Blast and then Flying. So that would get you around some of those ground type moves at least. And you could have a surprise sort of move there. That could be okay. Or... you could have like an acrobatic set. What am I thinking here? So yeah, so if you didn't want to run Will-O-Wisp on that, you could go, I guess you could go acrobatics on there, and you could even go like something like Terra Flying. That could be interesting, but I'd probably put that on more of an offensive set, so you're doing lots of damage. So for example, I would forego all this bulk here and just rely on Intimidate and go Adamant. So you could go for something like that. So you've got like I'd probably get rid of Parting Shot too. So we got Flare Blitz, Knockoff, Acrobatics, and I would give it... A matter of fact, I may even get like rid of Knockoff and teach it Darkest Barrier too. So yeah, you could have that. Fake Out, you could run Fake Out on there. If you wanted like that first little hit, I guess it would work. I don't know. I really like Drain Punch on this, or like really offensive. You could have like Close Combat, but it won't be living for very long. That's the only thing. So either Drain Punch or Close Combat. So that gives it some, you know, all-round coverage and a way to restore itself. But yeah, you've got Acrobatics, Terra Flying, and yeah, that's another way of running it. Just another Terra that could be possible. Even Flying could work. Seriously, like Flying could work as a defensive Terror as well. Like that could be one you may want to use. The only thing about that's bad is the fact that it's still weak to Rock, right? And that could be a problem. So I don't know about Flying. I probably wouldn't go for that, but it's not bad for getting around any of those those ground type moves. So that is an option there. Let's quickly go over its other physical moves because we've mainly done everything. We've had a look at Earthquake. Oh, it gets Endeavor. That's pretty cool. You could have like a cool meme set there. Be hard to get Endeavor to work though. I think you'd have to go like Endure and Stalek or something. I don't know. Like you could do some pretty good memes there. We got Flame Charge, Fire Flare Blitz is its bread and butter. Flame Charge if you've got like a bulky set with bulk up like I showed before. You might be able to play around with a sub-punching Focus Punch set, I guess. Leech Life is interesting. That is an interesting move. You might be able to run that, say, I would run that if I was going to here, for example. You could pop on Leech Life on the Assault Vest set, because that way you've got, like, you know, you've got two ways of healing yourself with, you know, those draining style moves. So that maybe, ooh, Terra Bug? Nah, not Terra Bug. That... I don't know, like, Terra Bug would definitely be a meme, but I probably wouldn't run it. So, yeah, but you could go Terra Bug if you wanted to boost up them Leech Life damage. But that's another option you could go for there, just sort of thinking out loud here. We've got Lash Out. Lash Out's not too bad. You might be able to get away with Lash Out. Obviously, doubles. That would be something for doubles. Gets Temper Flare. So you might be able to couple that with... a move you can deliberately fail. That could work. We got Throat Chop. This is like kind of... I don't know. This is kind of like anti or like meta things like this. Like really trying to like predict the meta. But you could get rid of something like any sound-based moves like, you know, Hyper Voice and things like that. That could work. But it's a bit more gimmick because you're giving up a lot of base power and you're hoping that they've got that move. But if you really are fearful of sound-based moves, maybe that could be a good option for Incineroar. It's just interesting to look at. We got Thunder Punch, and we got Trailblaze as well. Another way of boosting its speed. Probably don't really need that. U-Turn is a variant for Parting Shot if you want to run Assault Vest. And yeah, pretty much the rest of these are kind of memes. And of course, how can we miss the amazing special moveset? But there you go. I think I've done a pretty good coverage here on what you could do for Incineroar. So once again, a great bulky Pokemon, great support Pokemon, some incredible bulk there, especially with Intimidate, and some pretty beefed up stats. And it can dish a good hit out as well with that 115 base attack. You can go Assault Vest. You could even go Choice Band. Like you could do that, but maybe if you wanted to do Choice Band, this is more for singles, I would say. You'd really try and rock those real high base power moves. You want to drop the opponent, right? So we got like a Choice Band set there too, but that would not be lasting for very long. Like once you get hit, let's say you get hit by attack, boom, like Flare Blitz, and you're basically done. So maybe trick around for that. But anyway, people, I hope you enjoyed this Incineroar guide. I might have another one up tomorrow, but maybe we'll see what's going on. So yeah, if you got any other builds you want to add to it, please share it in the comment section. These videos, like, pretty much their purpose is to share some movesets. If you've got anything to add, please do that. Just, you know, get some ideas throwing around and stuff like that. All right, people, I'll catch you next time. Peace out.